Hello everybody, I've started a little bit early today, but there's actually extra things that came up today that I wish to discuss. I actually tagged Richard Albert in this over Haiti. Haiti had some incredible things have happened in the last 24 hours. The Prime Minister and his wife were assassinated. They were both shot and killed in their home. And it's interesting, in Haiti, the history of colonialism for Haiti and what happened in just this last year with COVID, everybody. We're talking, again, all constitutionalism. Their leader, he made some choices that went unconstitutional. He believed it the right thing. People reacted in Haiti, and a group went and assassinated him. They went into his home, killed him and his wife just in the last 24 hours. She was critical. I got the alert from Kelly Knight Craft before the news, really, but I would have waited the whole day to do the video anyway. I knew before CNN and the rest of them. But yeah, she died, and George W. Bush, they were notified. Him, Kelly Knight Craft, and her husband were all having his birthday, and so I got first dibs on that information. What's interesting, when I wrote my Oxford paper, I went into Haiti. Haiti was a portion of colonialism, focusing on the colonial France, one of France's colonies. Haiti suffered repatriation on having to pay France for judgments they made against them on independence, making them pay like Nazi Germany reparations. And over slavery, sugarcane slavery by France. I don't think so, right? Haiti was hit like that, like Germany was. I know a lot of people don't know that. So Haiti got constitutionalism a long time ago. They got freed after World War II. And of course, those people, they rise up over any little breach of the Constitution. And as a leader, you start using your executive power, which is interesting because Canada is still in that way. Canadians and First Nations never rise up like Haitians do. And I mean blood and violence. More people have died through this last year in violence and rebellion against the government's executive orders than they died of COVID-19. So heavy duty, and that leader and his wife were assassinated while they were sleeping, broke into their home and killed them. Over constitutional breaches of executive power, reverting back to trying to take over colonialist power. You know, it makes me wonder with First Nations and Canadians just how really institutionalized we are. When a lot of the decisions made by government and a lot of your rights and freedoms are permanently gone. They're permanently gone in Canada forever, regionally and federally. Which brings me now into international news, national news, and regional news. It's all absolutely crazy, crazy, crazy. Just when Jason Kenney couldn't be any more socialist for the province of Alberta, talk about regionalism, he goes ahead and by way of crown power with his ministry, they unilaterally purchase Redwater diesel upgrader. They purchase that. They make taxpayers buy it right out after it was subsidized by taxpayers, sold for a much less rate to CNRL and other two companies there completely. And then what happens? One bails out and says this isn't economical anymore. Thanks for subsidizing the build, Albertans, but we've had enough. We're dumping it. And Jason Kenney runs and puts you all on the hook for it and says, well, it wasn't a good investment. We ran down Rachel Notley for the same thing. The economic viability wasn't there, but now Albertans are to shoulder the loss. Jason says, oh, well, the cheaper loans will save us in the long run anyway because they'll just go bankrupt and throw it in our lap. Okay. So taxpayers bail out so that companies have the ability to bankrupt any time they want, and we're left holding the bag. I've done phenomenal work on this in Canada, more than any other economist. And I find it really funny that the news starts reporting my works that they crapped and shit all over me for just 4 to 2 years ago. The massive economics works I did in this, going through public, private, and personal debt that always ends up on the public taxpayer, because again, there are no rules of governance how to govern, and multinationals can do whatever the hell they want, and it's you, the people, who have to pay for it. So Jason Kenney thinks, hey, we've already blown more money that would rip Ralph Klein's soul right from heaven back into Alberta, screaming and crying like a haunting ghost of the legislature. He'd be losing it right now, rolling in his grave. But Jason Kenney's a real strong conservative, right? A pure autocrat, federalist, and destroyer of the people. I've never seen such socialism by a conservative premier ever in the history of Canada. He's blown away all projections of the most physically irresponsible, uneconomical premier in Canadian history. By far the absolute worst. He makes Rachel Notley look physically conservative, which isn't true at all, right? That's how bad it is. I mean, I don't even know how Trevor Toone goes to bed at night when he lies his fat face off to all these people in Alberta, and he gets a big fat paycheck to lie to you. And then they say Calgary's super conservative. Yeah, right. Socialist haven now. Socialist haven of Alberta. Sick. I don't know. Like, Ontario went through this with NDP, and we're going through it for Alberta, the region. They're going through that kind of physical irresponsibility with a conservative, supposed conservative government. Like, I don't know how Albertans are not just up in arms each and every day, but they don't. They just take the spanking, like Ontario did for years under NDP and then Liberal, and then of course they go with Ford, and it's no change. Like, I think we can all agree now, regardless of what province you're in, we are regionally uneconomical in Canada anymore. You can say, well, we borrow astronomical sums and we transfer money from province who borrow economical massive sums that just increase public debt, devalue every Canadian to the point you're not going to see any kind of future for your children. Which brings me now to national news, breaking by all news sources. I can't believe it. The National News, National Post, which National Post, they're completely UK funded and run, total foreign interest, but for some reason the chief editor allows a publication that sounds like I wrote it to go through today. And what's that about, everybody? Well, the analysis has come through, as I've been screaming my head off for 4 years straight about this, that the numbers come in, and Canada's patents, there aren't any. There are 0 Canadian patents in the top 100 technological scientific firms in the world today operating in Canada. There is not one patent secured by any Canadian organization, institution, or corporation. Now, what does that mean? It means in all avenues of technology, Canadians, for the next 30 years, there will be not one single Canadian company developing any cutting-edge technology in Canada in all our technology firms. Not a one. Which means those companies are gone forever. Welcome to post-COVID. Who's leading the charge? Well, P5 companies. China and USA tied for first place. Then it goes to UK. bunch of other European countries. Nothing, I repeat, nothing for any Canadian institution, firm, or anything else. We are going to be, now the experts are calling this a transition to middle world.
There's a mobile speed camera ahead.
Middle world status for Canada. Middle world status. More like third world status. I can show you all the countries. They're tits up right now. Venezuela goes on and on. Guess how many of their firms had zero patents on any cutting edge technologies in their last 5 years of their drop to the absolute bottom of the shit pile. So we're going to rely on resources to keep us afloat. That's always been the strong suit for Canada, right? Oh, except we've cut all that out too. We're in the new Green Deal. Our primary sectors are limited. We've given that away too. What are we going to do, Canadians? Because very shortly, in 3 years' time, after we've exhausted this $1 trillion borrowing, we're going to see a new credit report. That's coming here shortly in the next 3 months. My calculations, we're going to see more credit downgrades regionally. Some of the usually strong provinces, not so strong anymore. Alberta, New Brunswick too, that's coming. Ontario, that's coming. BC, I'm not sure yet. I'm waiting for a few regional developments to come out in the next couple months, but I wouldn't hold my breath. But the reality is, by the end of this 3-year period and the explosion, blowing of $1 trillion over 3 years, what is the economic impact? Well, we're going to see those credit reports and scores, and we're going to see the downgrades, and we're going to see interest rates rise. They're going to have to rise. Canadian government's banking on the strong housing bubble. They're just going to rank up immigration from all these countries who are doing so well with patents. We're going to bring in all their excess people here, try to flood immigration as high as possible so we have more taxpayers, even though we don't really have any primary resources, and we have to import all our technologies because everybody's already got the patents and we got nada. Not looking good, Canada. Not looking good at all. We need some serious changes. 2023, if we play our cards well, it'll be CCP, Canadian Constitutionalist Party. Sorry it's not great news, everybody, but like I said, it's really scary where Canada's going. And I don't see one federal party currently with anything outside of this narrative. They can bitch at each other, they can lie to all of you, throw 3-5 policies at you that are going to make all the difference. But I've read all their platforms and their publications, their shadow presentations, and the reality is there's 170 to 190 policies that not one Canadian, average hard-working Joe Jane, would ever, in their wildest dreams, ever vote for that. They never would. These are all autocratic, party insider, special interest funded priorities that aim only to destroy the taxpayer, meaning only to destroy 90% of the population's economic sustainability. Talk about sustainable development goals. Who are those for? The politicians? The first class? Is that what sustainability is for? How sustainable is the politicians' wealth? That's what it looks like to me. But I don't know, I'm just an economist. I'm just an average Joe Jane who pays my bills, works hard year after year, and doesn't suck off the taxpayer tit. I'm a contributor like everybody else, but what do I know? All I know is we need massive changes. We need the platform for the people. And you, the people, have to have the voice. Because the majority of you, when given that excellent education will make all the right decisions, because you're responsible, because you care about your children, you care about your grandchildren, and when shown everything as it really is, you'll all make the greatest decisions. Far better than any filthy autocratic politician could ever make. You'll have all those resources at your disposal. CCP, it's how we got to get there. Going to get home, going to work on my letter, everybody. Get that finished. That's going to go absolutely to Governor General. Then we're going to file for the Supreme Court, and we're going to know, everybody firsthand, is the new Governor General a piece of shit, first-class citizen, sellout of all First Nations, specifically her people, the Inuit, a first class from the Hudson's Bay. It's never had to really want, not, worry not. We'll find out. I hope it's not that, but I would be doing a great disservice if I didn't see it through and do this. And I will file in the Supreme Court. You're all going to see that. You're all going to be on that letter to absolutely Karim Khan, who's going to be tagged in it too, because we got to keep the ICC up to date. And absolutely it's going to Governor General. So then Karim Khan's going to learn a little bit about this colonial autocracy that matches Germany. And then he's going to see Nazi sympathizer. Is that what our Governor General is? Trudeau's hand-picked, privy, first-class citizen, wealthy citizen, friend of the Prime Minister, checkmark 1, 2, and 3, famous Canadian. Checkmarked all 3, but is she a woman of the Inuit people, or is that all bullshit? We're going to find out, everybody. And just so everybody knows, I do have to transition over to the page. I'm going to have to get volunteers. So I'm going to make screenshots of my abundant friend request list, and I could use volunteers to take over my page. It's an interview process, which means I want to talk to you on the phone. I don't want people posting stuff on my page specific to narrow narratives. It all has to follow party agenda and where we're at step by step. But if that's you and you're a hard researcher like Mark O'Reilly, I would really like to see you in that, managing my page. That's what I do show up there. It'll be suit and tie videos, some pre-recorded stuff. That's what the page will be for. But I'd also like it to start recruiting from my friends list, as well as a lot of people who have friend requests in, because I can't add anymore. And that means somebody using my page having access and being able to go reach out to them and invite them to the page. Tell them to like and follow. And then I'll start doing double videos so I can talk to all of you like a regular person. Swear, be dirty, wear a shirt, wear a muscle shirt. People don't get it. This is my personal Facebook. This is me being me, really me, live. No pre-recordings, no me reading off a sheet. Dave Bjorkman just being a third-class citizen, talking to each and every one of you. And then Sundays I will do Q&A, and I'm going to start that this Sunday absolutely for everybody. And I'll do that in a private setting. That'll happen every Sunday. I'll figure out a time. I think we're going to do 7 p.m. And World Constitution Day is coming too from Barrie, Ontario. And I'm going to see with 2 others what they want to do with 2 other locations, one in Alberta and one in London. If we can get that in time, it's getting really hard on the wire. I missed Mundo Icon S, annual, huge, a whole bunch of constitutional law, but I got to work. It's going on right now, and NYU and New York Bar Law invited me to it. So, I mean, it's a prestigious honor, especially that I'm not even a doctorate in law. It's prestigious. I got the personal invite, but I feel bad. One doctor, one of our 132 experts, she has a paper. She Twitter messaged me, "Hey Dave, you gonna join this? It's on right now, but I can't make it." So again, Richard Albert, I'm sorry. I know you did a lot for me to get me up there, and it's just, man, I can only do so much, and I got tremendous political going on. I don't minimize any of that. I haven't forgot that either, and I know there was a lot to go through with that today, but there's only so many hours in a day, and this Supreme Court action's #1 priority, everybody. And I've got to get it done. We have to try. Whether the one in 1,000 chance we're going to get that done, but at least we tried. And one thing shows all First Nations and all third and second class Canadians, this is what we're up against. We are following the law to a T, and we're still unable to do anything, and why CCP is so important. I've been fighting all day with communists, the Chinese communists, and one group of them, and then fighting with the actual UNSC China. There's a whole bunch on the...
In 800 meters, continue straight onto Ontario 407 West.
There's a whole bunch, too, on the international stage, everybody. Russia today, USA today, China today, France today, a whole bunch of stuff. They got some narratives specifically.
Continue straight onto Ontario 407 West.
Yes, GPS, I know. Those four nations all have pressures they're putting on.
Continue on Ontario 407 West for 23 kilometers.
There, should be quiet now. Those four nations have four agendas each, personal agendas. They're pushing on me pretty hard here. And I got to weigh it out and explain to them a few things too. And it's hard juggling everything so hard, everybody. It's sometimes, and some of these people got to know that, you know, Canadians, Canada, where Canada is right now, which I have no control over. And our party going forward, when we do get registration, there's things we're not ever going to be able to do on the international stage. And these players have to understand that. And it's like, look, we can't be fighting things that you don't get punished for, but we do. You know, that's not right. And that's not for Canada. We have to put a Canada First system in place too that respects international law, but at the same time doesn't compromise Canadians. And that's what has to be articulated too. And they got to understand that. The things we can do, we will do in support of them. And then the things that we can't do, well, they put us in vicarious positions, knowing when to say no, how to say no. And our Canadian government doesn't know how to do that, everybody. Just so you all know, absolutely all parties are absolutely extremely ignorant of international law and international relations. And I think that's why I get more invites out to international events than any politician in Canada today. And I'm not even technically registered or a politician. And I definitely don't have a big following. But a lot of these countries are paying attention and going, let's invite that guy. And a lot of academic groups like, invite that guy. Like today, they wanted me in Mondo, man. And that's a pretty big honor, you know? Like, that's pretty impressive for a guy with no law degree. No law degree. And that was by, like, New York Bar. So, you know, I'm pretty proud of that. Among other academic institutions. So, you know, it's not a little thing, but it's just too much, and I got to start delegating more. And I really need the Facebook page I have as leader of CCP up and running. So, guys, volunteers, I'm gonna leave it off at that. Everybody, if you want to volunteer, leave it in comments later tonight after I've worked on that letter and got that ironed out. Then I'm gonna come back and visit this post. I don't think I'm gonna post too much, unless there's something major that comes in Messenger when I get home. Thanks, everybody. That's my video update today. Sorry it's a lot of negative, but people need to know this stuff. You, the people, need to know, and you got to educate people. Extreme socialism is never an answer. And the public coffer and saying, oh, just put it on tomorrow's taxpayers. Worry about it tomorrow. Well, tomorrow is here today. And really, we can't do this. 3 years, a middle-income country. How the hell does Canada fall into middle-income country? Now, we don't need that status, because I promise you, it's a hop, skip, and a jump to third world. I've been screaming this for 4 years, and I'm not too happy when world-class publications are bringing this forward. And they're saying middle. And it's like, we're not going to be middle, we're going to be third. Can't rely on resources. The powers that be are taking those rights away from us because of our shitty-ass governments. And it makes me mad. And this is the last bit before I go close out here. You know, National Post, you ignore that portion of it. You don't want to upset the political parties because you don't want to lose your funding. And that pisses me off. I really do, and really am getting to the point where I don't even know if I really want to be included in media anyway. I know we need it. I know we need to be on TV when that time comes. But I'll tell you, man, the propaganda is so thick and shitless now. And I've gone so far in world knowledge and in big institutions. Like, do I really want to be in that media circle and deal with that anymore? You know, like, I think we got to look at really, along with this party, building the pack with the media company. And I have an idea for that. And I came up with a creative one that I have in the background on hold. And it's kind of a sneaky backdoor. And, you know, we'll see if there's media types out there, smaller base, that would like a chance of maybe some prosperity. It doesn't have to be for me, but help us with our narrative. Maybe it'll take off. I don't know. Things to talk about in a party board situation after we establish the founding membership with the registered party. There's so much to do, you guys. I know a lot of people want to help. What can I do? What can I do? And sure, founding membership signature drives. A lot of people want to volunteer for that all around Canada. That's what we need. But I still have to tour the provinces, and that's important. Got to get that done. That's another sooner than later. But there's so much to do, everybody. So very, very much to do. And I won't be able to do a lot of that. Most of it has to be done by founding members and party patrons. So we'll be getting to that. This registry is important, and it has to be done right. That strong foundation has to be there. We have to be completely unrestricted. We have to have access to every region, every EDA of Canada. It's too important for the platform we're rolling out. First time ever in Canada. It has to be rolled out in absolutely an official 338. And I wouldn't have it any other way. So thanks, everybody. That's my video. I know it went through a lot, and even things maybe that weren't included in the title, but it's all important. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Share, don't share. I guess it's kind of important. It's just mostly for those loyal to the party. Newcomers want to pay attention to it. There's important stuff there too. Thanks. Bye now.